Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, IFL TV. I'm out here in Saudi Arabia, fresh off a plane, fresh in another country. Mr. Eddie Hearn, how are you feeling?
Feeling absolutely fantastic. I've had a great weekend seeing Raymond Ford become world champion. Landed this morning at 6 o'clock. Had a nice 40-minute run. Then had a strength and conditioning sets. I had to sleep after that as well, by the way. Then a little strength and conditioning circuit, whatever you want to call it. And now we're ready to start work. You know how things work in Saudi. We don't start work till about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And we don't finish till about 2 in the morning. So I'm buzzing for this week. I think you'll agree, everyone will agree, we love it out here. You know, the hospitality, the weather, you know, the fight week, the facilities, the production, everything. And of course we've got the snooker as well, which starts tonight. The Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker. So double week for Matchroom here in Riyadh.
Busy, but we'll talk about the reason why I'm here, and that's obviously this knockout chaos. Joshua against Ngannou. Now, I feel confident for Joshua, if I'm going to be honest with you, but you know yourself, you've been in boxing long enough, you've seen crazy upsets happen. So how nervous are you, if you are nervous for Joshua?
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, on paper, AJ should do the business. There's a huge amount of jeopardy in this fight because Ngannou just, excuse my language, doesn't give a fuck. Like, he has absolutely no fear. And he should be petrified. Like, for a guy that's only had one professional fight, fighting someone like AJ who punches very hard and very fast, most people would have some fear. He has zero fear, and he truly believes he can win this fight. The confidence that he got from fighting Tyson Fury, improving in camp, learning more about boxing. The benefit we have over Tyson Fury is we have 10 rounds of footage, but that's it. But the negative is he has that experience now, and he will fancy the job, and he's very dangerous in this fight because he's going to let his hands go when AJ throws. He's going to walk him down, but he's also going to get hit very hard on the chin. So let's see what Ngannou's chin's like when he gets hit properly, and that will happen on Friday night.
Is it as simple as whoever lands first, Eddie?
No, but you know that if these guys land flush, you're in trouble. Now, you can recover, you can go to sleep, many things can happen. But if you land flush, and that goes for most heavyweights, but particularly these two, it's danger. And that's why there's so much jeopardy in this fight. You know, he's one of those, that's what I said when I posted the other day. The landlord is here to collect his rent. Fly in, do your job, smash him up, get out of there. And that is really all that has to happen on Saturday night. Win by any means necessary. If you can do it, people keep asking, how much do you want to make a statement? Do better than Tyson Fury did. Just want to win, honestly. If he can knock him out and do it quick, beautiful. But just got to get through this and try and move on to the World Championship honours.
You mentioned there's 10 rounds of footage. Now, I know Ben Davis and Leigh Wood have been honoured to be with them when they're in camp with fighters, and I've seen how analytical and the data and the video that they watch. But is 10 rounds enough even for the likes of a Leigh Wood and a Ben Davison to get their game plan right?
It's better than none. But not really, is the truth. When you're studying these guys and you're studying Otto Wally and you've got the Gassiev fight, you've got the Fury fight, you've got another 15 fights beyond that, you've got his amateur content as well. So with Ngannou, maybe you're watching some UFC stuff for his stance or his striking, but you've got that 10 rounds. And Ben and Leigh are very good, and I think that they will make good use of that 10 rounds, but you always want more footage than 10 rounds. But it will certainly help you because I think one of the genuine problems Fury had was he just didn't know what to expect. And he thought he'd get in there and work him out. But obviously he got hurt and then he just tried to survive. And, I think this time AJ he'll do a different kind of job that Tyson Fury did.
And by knockout chaos, you mean knockout, right? Obviously?
I think so. But again, like Ngannou's, I said, in another interview, it's like Godzilla against King Kong. You can see AJ whacking this geezer and him just sort of shaking it off. He's got a neck like about the size of that. Or he could get hit flush on the chin and get knocked spark out. That's the jeopardy of this fight, the unknown. Because there's so many more unknowns to come from Francis Ngannou. But we got to put a stop to that on Saturday.
In other news quickly, obviously Dillian Whyte, a fighter you've worked closely with in the past. You've never really been in his team, so to speak. You've said you've worked with Dillian. He's been cleared to fight. He's missed out on a lot of this heavyweight sort of stuff that's happened out here in Saudi Arabia. I just want to get your quick thoughts on Dillian being cleared.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it. I haven't spoken to him since the tests came through in August, and obviously we lost the AJ fight, which was devastating for everybody. As I understand it, he's been cleared by the Texas Commission. I don't know what the board stance is, but good news for Dillian Whyte. And obviously, like you say, he not just lost the AJ fight, but he lost an opportunity to be in this sort of round robin system. There's a lot of people who want to fight in Saudi, and there's a lot of people that are trying to get into the mix, but a lot of that has been done already. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the guys who have been winning are in a winner stays on kind of pool. So obviously AJ, Fury, Usyk, but you've got Hrgovic, you've got Caballero, you've got Dubois, you've got maybe the other guys coming in. Justice Hooney fights this week as well. So you need to get into that mix, because it's difficult now with all the rematches and the second fights and the winners versus the winners to actually get in that mix. But obviously he's still got a big name, and I'm sure he'll land a big fight.
That's what I was going to say. Dillian Whyte's name carries, I'd imagine, this heavyweight division. When you talk about maybe the top 7 heavyweights, Dillian's in there. So for him to have a fight out here, it's only going to benefit sort of like Riyadh season and the heavyweight division. Yeah,
and it's not, it's really down to his excellency as to the fights he wants to make. So, who knows? I mean, obviously I do feel like there will definitely be one heavyweight fight, maybe even 2 in the 5v5. So who knows what's going to play out, over the next week or so.
We're going to find that out soon, are we not? There's going to be an announcement 5v5?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be... I think His Excellency doesn't want to detract from this week too much, but I think on Saturday there'll be an announcement about the weight classes, and then there'll be a major press conference in London with all the fighters coming together. But yeah, definitely one heavyweight fight. Wouldn't be surprised if there was 2.
Ooh, I like it. Another hard segue left, Canelo. Last week we're probably thinking Canelo going back with Eddie Hearn, get a Munguia fight, the zone, all that makes sense. Then it was probably last night or the night before, the PBC, Amazon, Munguia fight seemed like it was on again. He was back with PBC. I just want to get your sort of initial thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, I think it's still ongoing. I mean, firstly, we hear all this stuff, but no one ever confirms anything. So we heard that Canelo left the PBC. We never had a statement from Canelo or the PBC. And he has a multi-fight deal with them. Obviously, Munguia is with Golden Boy, who have an exclusive deal with the Zone. So that's an issue. We have spoke to Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez, and we have made them an offer, which we can deliver instantly. But, as I've always said, it will be down to who pays the most money, how that old deal sits. But it's also 8 weeks away on Saturday. So I'm sure you'll hear this week, whichever way it goes.
Interesting. Obviously, another one, because I know we're both pressed for time, me and you, Eddie, believe it or not. I'm a busy man. Yeah, me as well. I'm a busy man as well. I've got to be somewhere. We've got time, but Eddie hasn't, so I'll get... 40 minutes, right, perfect. Then I can just chill then.
Do you get nervous with the boss sitting over there?
You know what, sometimes I do when I initially do it, because see if he's behind me...
Why are you here?
Come see you.
No, but what are you doing? Got a laptop open. You're making him nervous.
I'll just come and say hello to you.
All right, you can go now.
So it gave me the honour to do you first this week, because normally I don't get you in a fight week this massive, so he's like...
It's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like, when you bring someone on work experience, when you throw them in the deep end to see if they can really crack it, I kind of feel like that's what he's doing with you. I know you've been working with him for a while, but to throw you straight... This is the first interview I've done this week outside of Matchroom, which I know Coogan still gets the hump at, even though it's my own company. Yep. And they've thrown you into the deep end. Not only have they thrown you into the biggest interview, but he's also come along to listen to every word.
What I will say about you, Eddie, you are the biggest... Yes.
Excuse me. I had a look last week at the interview that we did.
Yeah. All right.
But that's a Coogan and Eddie interview. That they always smash numbers.
Yeah, well...
Andrew and Eddie, we've got to work on this a little bit more, Eddie. I need the clickbait, I need the thumbnail.
We have Andy, but to be fair, my name should carry it.
It's my name that lets it down. I'm thrown now. Ryan Garcia, you were at the New York press conference, and obviously the stuff that happened between that New York press conference, the LA press conference, and obviously after that with social media posts, and we saw what it was like at the LA press conference. A lot of people saying that mentally he might be suffering a little bit and whatnot. I just want to get your thoughts on that. And a lot of people saying this fight might be in jeopardy. Do you believe in that?
I mean, look, he's certainly not himself. Like, we've never seen Ryan Garcia behave like this before. Now, I'm not close enough to him to know the truths, the ins and the outs. He says he's trolling a little bit. I'm sure he is. But his team know him better than anyone. And people like Oscar and Bernard, like they're fighters. They know whether he should fight or not. Everyone wants the fight to happen, but everybody has got the best interests of the fighters at heart, particularly Golden Boy and particularly Ryan's family. So it's up to them to make the decision. We don't know the truths, but it's a very tough fight, and you've got to make sure that physically and mentally you're 100%. But most importantly, got to make sure the kid's happy and he's okay. So, for me, it's just speculation. We know he's not behaving normally for Ryan Garcia. So it's up to those guys to get to the bottom of it.
I do want to touch on obviously something as well. When you talk about that mental state that Conor Benn's went through that as well with his situation. I know he's going to fly out here to Saudi Arabia, and then I heard Coogan have a chat with Frank, and Frank's words were something along the lines of, I'm going to do everything in my power because I've spent so much time and effort to get this fight made between Chris Eubank Jr. And he says he's going to do whatever he can to get that fight made. We've saw the Josh Taylor and Jack Carroll, what it's like when you get two people that have got that storyline. What the British public do, they get involved, they get into it, they buy the tickets, sell out within 4 hours, whatever it was. And I think maybe Conor Benn and Chris Eubank's maybe slightly bigger than Josh Taylor and Jack Carroll. So is that a fight that can still be made?
Josh Taylor, Jack Catchell is a massive fight. We've seen it, but you can't even compare it to Eubank Ben. And the size of Catchell against Taylor, 11,000 instant sellout. Ben Eubank does a stadium in hours, not even a day. He's absolutely massive, and it's so frustrating. Obviously, you've got his appeal situation, and if and hopefully when he wins,
Is that soon?
I think, it's imminent. But we said that last time, so it's been done. So we just wait for the result, and that is an instant fight in Wembley, Tottenham. It's massive, massive. But I'm kind of done with it now because I'm looking at the other fights. And there's a couple of fighters that are potentially flying out this week that we're in deep talks for Conor to fight, and that's one of the reasons that he's coming as well, and he's working for DAZN. So there's a lot of options, but we wait on the appeal to determine where he's going to fight. Hopefully he wins that appeal, and then we can just come and do a massive fight in London. And Frank is dealing with the Eubank side, and I do think over time, how can you not sit down and go, this is the fight to make? Like, I can't make half this money anywhere else, and this is the fight to make. And Conor's at welterweight.
So any welterweights that rock up to Riyadh, we can just put two and two together and say,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to touch on Frank. Why is he copying this look? Do you know what I mean? He's getting fit like me. He's getting bald. This is a life. I chose this life, Eddie.
Your hairline's more like mine than Frank's, but I don't know what Frank's doing really. He's got a good hairline, not as good as he used to have, and I've told him, as we all know what happens over the years, it's going to go back, especially working in boxing. But yeah, he's working hard. He was out in somewhere in Africa doing a big site deal. Yeah. So we've got a lot happening at the moment.
A fight in Africa?
Yeah.
A fight in Africa?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be
You truly
unbelievable.
are globally matchroom when you think about it. You truly are a global company.
I know I always push it, but again, show me another promoter that is promoting shows in other countries as lead and sole promoter. Like, you can go and do a deal with someone who's promoting the show and call yourself a co-promoter. I used to do it all the time. But, like, we are everywhere in the world. And, yeah, I just love going to new places, and that would be a wild one.
Definitely. Still got 8 minutes of your time, Eddie, so let me talk about Jake Paul and Amanda Serrano. Just two parts to this question. What happened to Amanda Serrano with the sort of acid or whatever it was that she put into, substance that she put into her hair, dripped into her eye, causing her to sort of like have an eye injury, and then obviously Jake Paul's devastating first round knockout.
So devastating. Firstly, Amanda, I was gutted for her because, Jake and Most Valuable Promotions obviously put on a great event in Puerto Rico, big crowd. And just, I know there's always conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but it's so weird that you'd almost think it has to be true. Do you know what I mean? And of course, Amanda would have wanted to fight. She was ready to fight. She'd done the camp. They'd sold the ticket. So, just weird. Like, what do you put in your hair that does that? And obviously, if you're fighting someone,
I wouldn't know idea. Obviously,
but if you're fighting someone, that's really dangerous because when you're in the clinch, and that's going to go in their eye. So, but I'm no one expected it. So, yeah, just weird, really weird. And I don't know. It happened on Thursday night, but she was fine at the weigh-in in the morning for the commission weigh-in, and then in the afternoon you saw her with the sunglasses on. So I don't know. I mean, it's just, but obviously disappointed with her. With regards to Jake, just like, I don't know why he just doesn't fight someone, an actual boxer. Like, I know he'll say, this guy is an actual boxer. Come on, like, it's so bad. I mean, did you see the shape of him? Like, he was terrible. But Jake's got so much front. Like, most people that would be in a fight like that, like most boxers, would actually just go, like, and actually not apologise, but go, it's a bit disappointing. Like, I've worked so hard in camp, and I really expected him to be better than that. Jake stands on the turnbuckle, says, what an unbelievable performance, another first-round knockout. I'm ready for Canelo Alvarez. I have to give him unbelievable respect and props because he just doesn't care. But I think he's actually getting better. But he's just got to fight someone who actually boxes rather than someone they dug up who boxed, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And, like, he doesn't need to be fighting that low level. And I wouldn't even be surprised if in a year's time, whatever the Canelo Alvarez fight happens. Because Sal will be at a point in his career, if he can make 50, 60, 100 million to bash up Jake Paul, why not? I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But like, again, if you're actually putting in the work, like I think Jake is, you should want to actually fight someone that, like, because otherwise you're going to fight these guys. Then when you step up and fight someone who is actually a real boxer and with ability, you're going to get destroyed. So, and he's good enough to step up 5 or 6 levels, but they don't want to do that for no money in any kind of risk. They just want to rob the bank. So, but a good event, obviously massive blow with Amanda Serrano, but still, like, I like what Jake's doing, and people are talking about him, and he's got unbelievable front, so good luck to him. But I do think he should actually fight someone, especially if you're asking people to tune in and pay. Yeah. It's just embarrassing.
Leigh Wood, Josh Warrington. I seen Josh Warrington's Instagram make me look like a proper twat, and it seems like he was mocking Leigh Wood's curly hair or something along them lines. I've tried to put 2 and 2 together, maybe come up with 5 there. But Eddie, what's going on there?
Look, we want to make the fight. Obviously, we couldn't deliver it at Nottingham Forest. It's difficult. It's like Taylor Catchall, getting the money together for the fight off pay-per-view and in an arena versus being able to do it outside. It's very difficult to do. I had a good meeting with Josh on Friday. He's actually got 3 or 4 really interesting options, and I still love the Leigh Wood fight. Anytime we can make an all-British fight with a little bit of beef and a bit of narrative, we've seen the success of it. So, just money, really. Can we get a deal done? And, Leigh's had it off the last couple of years, and good luck to him, but just got to try and find a way to make the fight happen. But Josh wants to make a move, and like I said, few interesting options.
Now I want to go back to New York on Saturday night. Ray Ford, Komatov. I'll tell you what, Ray Ford, I was at his second fight in Nottingham. Right, I was in his fight in New York. I think it was a Devin Haney Abdulayev fight he was on. Then I was in a fight in Phoenix, Arizona. We struck up a relationship, me and Ray Ford, so I was delighted for him. But well, not down to me. I'm just saying that I was happy for the man. And I was going to bring you back into it, Eddie. I was going to say I saw the photo of you hugging him and what it meant to you as well, because it was your first homegrown American world champion, from debut to world champion. And we saw what it meant to Ray Ford, but I'm going to bring you into it because we know it's the Eddie Hearn show. What did that mean to you?
Yeah, it was. Firstly, it was a long way to go for a couple of hours, and I just believed he'd win, and I wanted to be there for him because I remember when he came into the office as a 19-year-old, with his family in New York, and sort of, he's a very shy kid. And I think that, I know this sounds a bit cheesy, but seeing someone change their life, especially from where Ray comes from, New Camden, New Jersey, like, I love seeing people achieve, and I love being part of taking them to the top of the mountain. And he's only halfway up the mountain, but his life changes now. He can buy a house, he can support his parents, he can put his kids into the best education he feels is right for them. And walking out of the sport, or even being able to do those things, it's not even the 1%ers. It's the 0.0001%ers. So, I was really proud of him, especially winning the fight with 7 seconds to go. I mean, I felt that
he was down on the cards, right?
He was down on 2, he was up on 1. But I felt that if he won the 12th, we had a chance, but probably felt it slipped away. and 7 seconds to go, just unbelievable. And they're the nights you live for. You know what? Since then, I reckon I've had 300 messages, DMs and emails from fighters, young American fighters, saying, "Can I be part of the team?" Because I think they love the emotion, and I do make myself look like a prat sometimes, but it's real, and I mean it, and I love it. Yeah, thanks, mate. But you just don't see other promoters doing that, and they're old and they've been through a lot of shit, but I've still got that rawness of my emotion where I'll get on a plane and, take 12 hours to arrive an hour before the fight and then leave 2 hours after and fly to Riyadh because it means something to me. And I don't want to miss those moments because those moments mean more than anything.
We saw it, yeah.
Yeah, forget, actually, don't just forget the money, but, seriously, like, that was up there, with Kell against Porter and Crawler against Perez and Bellew against McCart. Like 7 seconds to go, get the stoppage in the final round to become world champion.
Brilliant.
Love it.
We're all them fights.
Sorry, mate, we're in the middle of
Yeah, I was.
I thought all them.
Yeah, we're still at an interview over here.
Tell him,
Are
Eddie.
you
Tell
sure
him.
you're at Daniel Gill against Darren Barker?
Did you mention Gil Barker?
Yes,
I think you did.
I think I did.
So we've got the tape, we'll go back, we'll find this out. Nick Ball, though, I heard Nick Ball, he's here. There was talks about, you mentioned Ray Ford's name in with Nick Ball if he wins on Friday night. Potential 5v5?
Yeah, I mean, George has definitely mentioned the featherweight division, of which if that's a division he would pick Nick Ball. We've got Josh Warrington, who could be moving up to 130. We've got Ray Ford. I love Nick Ball against Ray Vargas. I mean, I actually made that fight with George. And I like Nick Ball a lot. I know he's not our fighter, but it's a big opportunity for him on Saturday. And if he can win, we may well do a straight unification with Ray Ford. Be a brilliant fight. So Ray might fly out this week as well. And good luck to Nick Ball in Riyadh.
One more for me than Eddie. Obviously, Tyson Fury. We love when Tyson Fury goes on social media. I'm sure you do as well when he brings his comments. Now, he done an interview, I think, with Parsons. He said something along the lines of that Ngannou owes him because he made him a millionaire, and if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't be in this fight with Joshua. Something along them lines. And I saw he was back shadow boxing in the ring, and he said something, "Tell Usyk I'm coming inside 7," which means he's going with the intent to knock Usyk out. So, your thoughts on both those social media posts?
Yeah, I mean, look, Fury's up for it, and that's what you want. The Ngannou fight might have been a blessing in disguise for him, to give him a kick up the arse, but he's going to come in ready for this fight, or as ready as he can be. It's just a case of what he's got left. I think it's a real 50-50 fight. Usyk's a very, very good fighter, but Fury's brilliant for the sport. Looking forward to seeing him this week, and just good energy, really good energy. And I saw AJ catch up with John Fury yesterday.
Have you met John Fury yet? Have you bumped into him?
I'm not sure I've actually ever met him.
You have to go.
Do I? Okay, I've got to go. But yeah, looking forward to bumping into all Furies this week.
Well, can I just say, you done a fitness thing with your PT Kai. I seen that this morning. Yeah, he's here. I don't have a gym in my hotel. Can I jump in tomorrow?
Maybe. I made the investment to hire Kai full time, and he travels around with me now because that's when you're knackered and you can stick 2 sessions in a day, somehow, some way, I don't feel tired anymore. So it's a message to all you people out there. People are feeling tired, people are feeling run down, people who've got no energy. I promise you, if you get healthy and you start training, that will all change. Look at me. Proof's in the pudding, baby. See you soon.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.